Welcome to Chat With Me. As always, I have a fabulous guest for you here today. We have the awesome, the wonderful, and the intriguing Scottie Ward.
Hi, everybody. How are you? Yeah,
Now you have to live up to that.
I know, exactly. I'm going to do a roll right here in front, or something. I'll have to jump off the table.
You already did a couple of flips, which was very impressive.
I did, thank you. Yeah.
You didn't even have to take off the jacket.
No, I know. Well, James Bond never does.
So, Scottie, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so happy you're here. You do so many things. I can't even label it into one thing. So what I'm going to have you do is just start from the beginning. Where were you born, Scottie Ward?
Well, thank you. And I have to tell you, I've been excited and a fan of yours and excited to do the show for a long time. So I am happy to be here. I'm a married father of two.
Yay. Best job in the world.
I love it. I love it. I love my kids. And my wife. Hi, honey.
She's beautiful, by the way. I
Thank
just saw
you very
her in one
much.
of her videos.
Oh, thank you very much. So I hail from Lansing, Michigan originally.
Okay.
And lived in Los Angeles, Southern California, and LA for 25 years. And moved back to Florida to take care of my parents, who have now passed. So that's how so many people say, well, how did you end up here?
Right.
And that's how. So.
Well, you did by way of the entire United
I
States.
did, yeah. We saw we traveled some roads, so that's kind of how that happened.
And career-wise?
So we are launching, and this is big for Chat With Me on this show. We are
news.
Right, and I waited to kind of announce this, to kind of tease this out here for the audience, but we are launching a studio in celebration, and I'm partnered with David Pavlik and Dina La Rosa, two amazing human beings, and so we've got really big next year planned. So we do a lot of media integration and stuff like that, and I have to tell you, the studio here that she put together, and she wants to be so humble about this. It's second to none. I know, but I'm so impressed with this whole thing. So we do that, and then we have a nonprofit that keeps kids safe from internet predators, human trafficking, and so we are getting ready to launch out that. It's about we're giving that away. It's about $9 million worth of education.
Oh my goodness!
And
what is that called?
It's called the Green Hand Project, and so there are 5 points to that project, and that's everybody goes, well, how'd you get green hand? And I said, there's 5 fingers, and I don't know. Right?
I get your point.
Right? Thank you. See, she's quick, folks. She's quick. And so that's working on that. We're real close to releasing that right now. So a lot of good stuff going on, and I could not be happier.
This is not like little stuff.
Well, go big or go home, right?
Right. So the Green Hand Project, really quick, how can they follow that?
You can go to the greenhandproject.org or greenhandproject, just like it sounds, .org. And it's got all that information there for you, and anybody that would like to be a part of that or help or has questions, my phone number is right on there. You can call me or email me at any time, and I get right back to you, I promise that. So.
Very nice. That's awesome.
Yeah. So.
Yes. So what led you to all of this? You had a career before this. Tell me about some of the stuff that you did.
I was a paramedic firefighter and an FTO, an ER medic for many years, and then went back to school.
Wow. I thought you skip over that. It's just this, just this thing I did.
So
that's amazing.
Well, and it's funny how I ended up in California. I had was doing a project in Oklahoma City.
Of course.
Right, yeah, I know, somewhere else. And trust me, there's so many places.
Yeah.
And so a friend of mine called me. This is a crazy story. And he goes, hey, dude, I'm moving to California. You want to go? And I thought, okay. So he was working for an IndyCar team in California, right? And they were flying him back to pick up his car in East Lansing, Michigan. And he had just graduated from Michigan State. So they fly him back. He picks up it's a Ford Probe. I talked about this on another show. It's so funny. It was, and I don't even know if there's any Ford Probes out there anymore. And if there are, enjoy it and drive it. It's a fun little car. So he drives through Oklahoma. We fit everything that we can fit in this hatchback, right?
Okay.
And I had a friend of mine that ran the apartment complex, and so I put the keys on the inside of there. My lease was up, and I couldn't take the furniture, so I gave it away to everybody, all my friends in Oklahoma, and we drove to California.
In the Probe.
And that's right. a bunch of
And you
laundry
made
baskets,
it.
and we did make it barely. I mean, it was, you know, chitty chitty bang bang, you know. So that's how I ended up in California.
What? That is quite a story.
So and everybody's like, well, what'd you do? Go out there? Well, that's how it happened. So and then I started doing stand-up comedy.
Fun.
Right, and so doing a lot of that and voiceover work. And
Oh yeah, you've definitely got a voice for
well,
that.
thank you. And so that's how I got my start doing stand-up, and then got picked up for a couple of TV shows and was cast on those for a couple of seasons, and then just, you know, touring, doing a lot of stuff on the comedy deal. And then from there, I had an entertainment management company where we would kind of launch clients, manage their media, and you know, film, television, podcasts were just starting to kind of come on then. And then I would create television show ideas and option those to networks. So that's how I got in with Discovery and got some of our shows on the air. And so that was it. And then, you know,
there's just more and more.
I
and
know,
more. It's
I
pretty
know.
amazing.
So that's how it all started. So.
And then, how did you get involved in the world of human trafficking or anti-trafficking? And
Yep, that's a great question, because it's there's such a million miles apart on that, right? So I had a client of mine who Discovery Networks was doing a show called Kidnap and Rescue about the human trafficking epidemic kind of back then. And so I went to work for that client because I saw the work that he did in his organization, and I was touched by it. A lot of times, in most cases, and nothing against men on this, but a lot of men don't understand it.
yeah,
Right? And when I started to see all of the work that he was doing and the impact that it had internationally, I could not do it. I said, listen, I want to do this. How can I help?
And people don't know. They don't know how widespread this is and how often it's happening. It's because we don't want to know, almost, because it's so hard to even sit with and believe that it's happening.
Well, it's one of those topics too that when you start to talk about it, people go,
right. That's what I'm saying. They shut down. They don't want to know.
You know, or that's terrible, and the thought of it and the enormity of it's so overwhelming.
Right. And people think it's off in the distance too, and it's not. It's happening here, no matter where you're watching from. It's happening in your area.
Well, the TMZ, or the 30-mile zone of Orlando alone, and then both coasts, is very, very busy for that. There's a lot of stuff that comes down from up north. Right. And people always think, oh, it's not in my neighborhood. Well, it's right here. So went to work for them, organization called Halo. I was very proud of the work that we did. We got a lot of people back internationally. And so that's how I got into that. And then the Green Hand Project came from that, because I thought to myself, okay, instead of being reactionary, let's be proactive.
Yes.
And so let's go forward and create this. And so I hired a PhD to create the curriculum. It's awesome curriculum, by the way. And so
And it's geared toward children.
It is.
Or
So
the parents as well.
It is. It's we give a lot of talks. That's a neat question that you would ask that. We give a lot of talks to parents, groups of parents in homes too, because parents will come to us and say, what do we do?
How do I? Yes.
We don't understand these apps.
Right.
We don't. What does this mean? And there's apps that come out every day, even I don't know about, right?
That's right.
Where I'm like, oh, I've never heard of that app. So we stay in the front of that, but we refer everything back to law enforcement. So, you know, the Osceola County Sheriff's Office is a phenomenal organization who is on top of this type of stuff all the time, right? And the sheriff is a amazing guy who is going to go at that full throttle, right? But the education curriculum for schools is for K through 8.
Okay.
And what that does is it teaches, we want to change kind of the way that the kids use and look at the internet, right?
Love it.
And deal with conflict resolution. So we got our first book done, which is kind of cool, for K through 8, right? Mimic Magic. Janelle Farrell, Dr. Farrell wrote that book. And so it is a complete program that we're giving to the schools.
That's amazing.
Yep, and we're real proud of it. And
you should be very proud.
And so the high school program too is going to be a little bit more interactive with, because I think that high school kids, they're not going to go death by PowerPoint. right? And they're smart. Kids are so smart nowadays.
Yeah.
So we want to give them something to do to increase volunteerism. So that's a whole other thing that we're going to roll out too. So
just something else, just another.
so I'm pretty excited about it. So we're having fun. We're
It's-
having a good time.
My heart is just touched by all of it.
Well,
So
thank you.
tell me a little bit about CCTV, because I watch it, but I want them to watch
Well, thank
it too.
you. Well, okay, so here's how that started, right? My wife is a screenwriter and an actress and commercial actress and has done stuff for years and years and years. And we're at the soccer game of my son.
Okay.
I have a 6-year-old son.
Because he needs more to do.
Right. And so we're sitting there, we're doing all this, and I look down the thing, and people have their phones up and all this stuff. And a woman had said, geez, I wish we had more information because they were late to the game. You know how parents are.
Okay.
You didn't know if it's the 9 o'clock game or the 10:30 game or all this kind of
Absolutely.
stuff. And I thought, what if there was something in celebration? And I couldn't believe that there wasn't something, right?
Yeah.
To talk about all the great businesses and the culture and all that kind of stuff. And so I said to June, my wife, I said, look, I said, there's got to be something,
Right.
right? And there's,
We can't be the first ones to
yeah,
think
I'm
about
like,
this.
you know, it was created by Disney and all this stuff. There's got to be a resource out there. Because I was going to tell this woman, I said, hey, you can always check on such and such. There wasn't. And we looked for like an hour, right? So I said, well, let's do it.
Yeah.
And so we just go out and elevate what people are doing and businesses and all that as a community-based type of deal. And we have a blast with it. And we're meeting all these people. And so that's what we do. I mean,
Love it.
right?
And they can catch it on Facebook.
Facebook, it's just on Facebook. And so we've got followers and we go and post those posts to other parent places and school things where, you know, there's a fundraiser at the school, we go cover it and all that kind of stuff. So we have a lot of fun with it.
So if somebody's in celebration and they have an event coming up or something they want you to come cover,
We'd
how do
love
they do
to.
that?
So go to Celebrate Celebration TV on Facebook and send us a little note, and we'll come out and cover your event if it's in celebration or if you're a celebration resident. So we want to really, as a community, I think it comes back to where communities want to come back together,
Yes, I agree.
right? And
They just don't know how.
they don't, and
Not
so
anymore.
we said, okay, well, let's try this.
I love it.
So that's what we're doing.
Scottie, I think you're amazing.
Thank you very
and
much.
I think what you're doing
appreciate
is
it.
amazing, and I appreciate you coming out and sharing.
Thank
that.
you. I've been so excited to do the show. You don't even know. And spread this around and let's get the word out about this great show because she highlights. No, I'm going to give you a plug now. Listen,
I lost control, ladies and gentlemen.
she highlights so many people doing the right stuff, and that's what's important because that brings us all together. So we need to get this out everywhere. So chat with me, send it to everybody you know.
And there you have it.
There you go.
Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, take care of yourselves and don't forget to take care of each other.